This is KGW News at 11.
One person is recovering and another is in jail after a stabbing at a Halloween party in Hazeldale. Welcome to KGW News at 11. I'm Brittany Folgers. Officials say the suspect showed up at the party Saturday, then stabbed the victim in the leg. Other party goers were able to hold down that suspect until Clark County Sheriff's deputies got there. The suspect is now facing an assault charge. The victim was taken to the hospital. At this point, it's not clear why the suspect attacked the victim. Portland City Council candidate Rene Gonzalez's campaign headquarters were vandalized again. 2 large windows were shattered overnight. Portland police believe a rock was used to smash the glass. Gonzalez's campaign manager says this is the 3rd time that their office has been vandalized. Right now, there are no clear suspects. However, a direct action protest did take place in the area Saturday night. The group has been known to target government buildings, businesses, and political campaigns. Authorities are investigating a possible connection between the vandalism and that group. Police arrested a burglary suspect earlier today after she drove into an abandoned apartment in Oregon City. Authorities say the suspect lost control of the stolen vehicle that she was driving and crashed it into the apartment. Luckily, no injuries have been reported. A North Portland woman has been reunited with her 10-month-old puppy after it was stolen along with her car. Blair Best joins us. And Blair, unfortunately, this is a really disturbing trend that we're seeing across the city.
Yeah, that's right, Brittany. Since September of last year, Portland police have responded to more than 12,000 stolen vehicles. But in this case, the woman left her keys in the car while unloading groceries when someone hopped in and drove off. Her dog was in the back seat. It wasn't until roughly 2 days later that police found the car with the dog still in it. Take a look.
So it was wrecked right up in here on this side.
Damaged.
They wrecked it. It's the inside is just a trash can.
And dirty.
No, I'm not touching it until I get gloves.
This is the inside of Michelle Chavez Hudson's car, and where her 10-month-old puppy Mimi was trapped for 2 days.
She was in it. You know, that's so sad is to think that she was living like that.
On Friday afternoon, Hudson was unloading groceries from her car parked outside her North Portland apartment building.
I left her in there. A homeless person came up, was standing near the corner by where my car was. I didn't think anything of it.
The keys were in the front, the dog in the back. When she wasn't looking, someone jumped in and drove off.
I see her driving away, and then I'm screaming to stop. And then I'm in a panic. I don't know what to do. I was dumbfounded.
Portland police took to Twitter asking for help in the search. On Saturday night, they finally found the car and Mimi, who was luckily unharmed.
I thought she was probably gone. I mean, by the 2nd day, I was kind of like, she's probably not coming home.
A fear Hudson couldn't face.
She's probably my best friend. She's all I pretty much have. Come on, Mimi. Come on, Mimi.
Well, thankfully, they were reunited. Now, of those 12,000 stolen vehicles in the past 13 months, 858 of them were taken last month. And police are able to find 80% of them within 30 days, like in this case, where it only took them roughly 48 hours. Brittany?
Just a terrible situation. All right. Thanks so much, Blair.
And they're also the best team in the world. I came out here today because I wanted to support the Thorns because they just won the championship.
That's right, they did. Hundreds of people showed up at PDX today to welcome the Thorns back home after their big victory. The team won the 2022 National Women's Soccer League Championship in Washington, D.C. last night. They beat the Kansas City Current. The final score was 2-0. This was the Thorns' 3rd championship win, which is the most in league history. This upcoming Tuesday, Providence Park will host a NWSL championship rally for the Thorns. We'll make sure to keep you updated on that. And let's take a live look outside of Rose City tonight. This is our sky cam. And in less than an hour, it's going to be the spookiest day of the year. Yes, Halloween is almost here. Meteorologist Joe Ranieri is tracking our trick-or-treat forecast. And Joe, you might want to have a water resistant Halloween costume this year. We'll say that.
Exactly. Depending on where you're at. I just looked at some updated models. There is a short window, Britt, where, believe it or not, it will be dry for trick-or-treaters. But as we look at the radar right now, this is just a little taste of what we're going to be experiencing here over the next couple of hours. I'm tracking a pretty strong system that's going to be moving on shore. Already seeing evidence of that throughout parts of southwest Washington and along the northern part of the Oregon coast. Once it moves through, be getting hit with not just rain, which will be heavy at times, especially throughout your morning commute, but some wind as well. There's a live look now from our Rose City camera. We're looking at temperatures relatively mild, right around the mid to the upper 50s. Winds are pretty light coming in from the southwest, about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Once this front moves on shore here in just the next couple, we'll really start to see the winds pick up. So it's going to be a rainy and windy start to the work week, and trick-or-treating will be wet for some of us. But again, basically from 5 to 7, maybe 7:30 tomorrow night, that is the window all you guys, the parents, the kiddos want to be paying attention to, because that's when it'll be dry. But I am tracking a good amount of rain, anywhere from a half of an inch, if not more. I'll talk more about that in your detailed forecast.
Thanks for keeping us in the know, Joe. Well, on Tuesday, the Central Library for Multnomah County reopens to patrons. For the past 3 months, it's been closed for renovations. But Alma McCarty found out the work is not over as the library system prepares for another round of renovations and closures next year.
At the Central Library downtown, improvements are long overdue.
It was opened in 1913. Part of the work that we've done here actually restores the front of Central Library to more like what it was when it opened more than 100 years ago, with some outdoor public space.
In addition to the work outside, which includes better access for people with disabilities, Sean Cunningham, the director of communications, said crews are expanding and remodeling the first floor bathroom. The work closed down the library for months and is just the first phase as the Multnomah County Library expands and renovates this and other branches in the coming months.
So that will be new libraries, larger libraries that are more modern, have more space for people, more places to plug in devices, for instance, and other amenities that really reflect the way people use libraries today.
Library patrons will be welcomed back in on November 1st. But next year, leaders say there will be an estimated 6-month closure for the final phase of construction here. Library Facilities Manager Aline Davis said it was a hard choice to make, but in a building this size, it's complicated trying to stay open during major work.
We could prolong and make this like a 1.5 year long project by trying to keep open, but for 1.5 year, staff and patrons are just living with this constant construction noise. So instead we chose to try to sort of rip the Band-Aid off, do it in a shorter period of time and get it done so that we can return to service as normal in a much more wonderful library space.
Across the county, bond money approved by voters in 2020 will fund a new library in East County, similar in size to the Central Library, renovations to 7 branches, and automation of the way staff sorts and moves materials. Right now, it's done by hand.
A big part of this bond program and capital improvement program is to make the system more efficient. And as part of that, the library is currently building a new operations center in Northeast Portland.
Leaders hope patrons will pardon their progress as they work to create a modern Multnomah County Library. At the end of this year, both the Midland Library and the Holgate Library will close for construction and will reopen in 2024. They're both expanding, but the Holgate branch in particular will triple the size of the current space, and once completed will be one of the largest libraries in Multnomah County. In the newsroom, Alma McCarty, KGW News.
Now to safety improvements on public transit. TriMet wants to hand out tougher penalties for people who commit Class A misdemeanors. This can include things like public indecency, possession of fake bomb-like devices, and offensive sexual contact, in addition to assault and bias crimes.
And it's just one piece of a larger strategy, if you will, that we're working on rolling out to really increase safety on board for our riders, for our operators, and other frontline staff.
The proposed rule change could affect more than 100 known offenders that use the TriMet system right now. This proposal will go up for a vote before the TriMet Board of Directors on December 15th.